Well, good day! Today's video will feature the first cartoon appearance of that treacherous Spider-Man villain, the Scorpion! So, alright, let's go!
Yes, indeed! So, we start off in this laboratory, which looks like it was made inside of a barn or something. But inside of it, there is a scientist called Dr. Stillwell, who has created a new superpower being called the Scorpion. And he is showing off the Scorpion's powers to the person who is financing this little project here, Jonah Jameson of the Daily Bugle. You know, this whole project is probably not compliant with the Nuremberg Code, which, right? Regardless, Jameson plans on using the Scorpion to destroy Spider-Man once and for all.
Meanwhile, at the Daily Bugle,
so Peter Parker, is nervously trying to ask Betty Brant out on a date when Jameson rooster blocks him by declaring that he has the ultimate weapon to destroy Spider-Man. Which, still sounds like an illegal weapon. Maybe you shouldn't run around declaring that you have this thing. Nonetheless, Peter, knowing now that his life is in danger, he takes off, leaving Betty behind in the dust. And as Spider-Man, he starts looking for clues to what this weapon is, right? Like, he's got no idea what it is. But luckily enough, Spider-Man doesn't have to look too hard because the weapon found him. And with that, an epic battle ensues. The Scorpion and Spider-Man battle on top of New York City skyscrapers, where Spider-Man is starting to get overwhelmed by Scorpion, who can match all of his powers and more. But luckily, Spider-Man eventually gets the Scorpion all webbed up. So it's all over then, right? Spidey just has to put that little friendly neighborhood Spider-Man call sign on him and, have him ready for the police to pick him up, right? Nope! Scorpion is designed to not be held by Spider-Man's webs. He breaks through his spider trap easily. The ultimate weapon indeed, eh? So now that he's free, the Scorpion tries to kill Spider-Man against the wall, but accidentally hits a high voltage junction box thing there, causing a fire and postponing the heavyweight battle. Or is it like a middle heavyweight or something? I don't know.
Elsewhere,
Dr. Stillwell realizes that the stronger the Scorpion gets, the more insane he will become. So in a panic, he calls Jameson to give him the heads up that his head could be up for target practice by Scorpion. So Spider-Man must be psychic because he figures the only place the Scorpion could be would be Jameson's office at the Daily Bugle. Well, psychic powers and hearing Betty Brant scream from across the city kind of tipped him off. So the Scorpion breaks into the office and is stalking his new prey. But luckily, Spider-Man jumps in just in time, and like the true chemist that he is, he concocted some new extra sticky webbing to hold the Scorpion down for good. So Betty calls the police, who show up promptly and arrest the Scorpion. But realistically, how, right? Like, yeah, sure, the cops have guns and all that, but once you get the Scorpion out of the webbing, he's still super strong, his tail is still a pretty crazy weapon, and Scorpion himself is insane with blind rage. Pretty sure he would win a battle against the cops, but nonetheless, he stays arrested. But he vows revenge on Spider-Man for defeating him, and revenge on Jameson for creating him. Which, yet again, it sounds horrible for Jameson because now you even have the Scorpion saying that Jameson was involved in unethical and illegal activities, But I guess it's all good. But hooray, the day is saved! Jameson is safe and the Scorpion is in oh, what? The Scorpion broke out of prison? Oh man, Jameson is screwed! And so the story kind of repeats itself with Scorpion breaking into Jameson's office and having yet another tussle with Spider-Man. Until the cops are called again, which freaks Scorpion out, man. He's totally terrified of the police. So he takes off.
Like a coward.
Where Spider-Man webs him all up snug as a bug in a rug, again, And the whole police squad shows up, to make sure this guy goes to prison for good. Hopefully in a more fortified jail cell, But yes, indeed, this time for sure, the day is saved. And Jameson, like the spineless jerk he is, takes all the credit for defeating the Scorpion. C'est la vie, eh? C'est la vie. But with that is the end of this spectacular tale.
So yeah, what can I say, man? That was actually a pretty awesome episode. Not really a whole lot that you can kind of pick apart with that kind of a story, except for Jonah Jameson being the greatest Spider-Man villain of all time. My God, like he was part of human experimentation on a person just to destroy Spider-Man. And that person, the Scorpion, like his life is ruined, let alone all the property damage that happened throughout the city because of the Scorpion. And how many staff members at the Daily Bugle probably have PTSD after all these constant attacks by Scorpion? Well, except for, Betty Brant, like she's a total trooper. Like how many times has her life been in like absolute danger at the Daily Bugle because of some crazy powered super villain? But she still says, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. It's all good. She has the heart of a hero. I do like how the story ended basically 3 times in this episode, but it kept kind of going, right? Usually when Spider-Man webs somebody up, that's it, right? Story over. Case closed. But this one was kind of like Terminator 1, where just as you think it's over, boom, man, Scorpion comes back. And with Scorpion coming back out of prison, like I still don't really understand why the police would not remove his costume, right? His costume, in the comics at least, is kind of like a shield, right? It's like armor. And that mechanical tail is an absolute weapon. Why do you let a criminal keep their weapon while they're in prison? Makes no sense. Also with the Scorpion, like in my recap, when I say that the serum makes him go crazy, what it really meant was that it makes him tap into his evil impulses and he will become more evil. That's how that Scorpion serum works, I guess. It makes you evil. I never considered a Scorpion itself to be just evil, as it is. I thought it was just surviving, I guess I don't know as much about nature as I thought. But, like, as I say, man, this is a great episode, right? It's got high stakes and high crime, and it's definitely one to watch even if you've never heard of Scorpion before. And now, dear friends, there's more.
So indeedly doodly, hey, Scorpion! So Scorpion first debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man number 20 in 1965. And that comic book story was the basis for this episode. As per usual, right? Like, not like 100% exact adaptation, but the main points were taken from comic to episode, right? Like you had Dr. Stillwell create the Scorpion, which was funded by Jameson. Scorpion attacked Spider-Man on the rooftops. Scorpion went insane. Scorpion attacked Jameson at the Bugle, and Spider-Man stopped it and saved the day, right? Those points are all the major points, and that's exactly what happened in both stories. The main differences, though, in the comic book, when Dr. Stillwell found out that Scorpion would go crazy with this serum, he tried to give Scorpion an antidote, which he thoroughly rejected and in fact killed Dr. Stillwell. When Spider-Man first defeated Scorpion at the Daily Bugle office, that was the end of the story, right? It didn't continue in that issue, where he broke out of jail and attacked Jameson and Spider-Man again. That part of the story, that was taken from The Amazing Spider-Man number 29 in 1965. Pretty much same thing. Broke out of prison, went to attack Jameson, Spider-Man stopped him, although at the end he stopped him at the piers, not just random downtown New York City. Also, the name of the story for Amazing Spider-Man number 29 was Never Step on a Scorpion, which is the name of this featured episode. Also, a major plot point that the cartoon completely ignored was Scorpion's backstory. So Scorpion's real name is MacDonald Mac Garrigan, and he is a private investigator who was hired by Jameson to follow Peter Parker around and try to find out how Peter gets all those fantastic pictures of Spider-Man, right? Something doesn't add up. Those pictures are too fantastic. But Peter, having spider sense and all that, he can always tell when he's being followed, and he can tell when Garrigan is on his tail, so he could always elude him, Jameson didn't like Garrigan's failures, so he figured he really had to up the game, right? So Jameson found Dr. Stillwell to create the serum to turn Garrigan into the Scorpion. Stillwell didn't really want to do that, but he needed the money, so bada bing, bada boom, it's done, eh? But Garrigan was a willing participant in this. He's like, hey, I'm getting 10 grand out of this, man. Yeah, sure, do whatever you want to do to me, So there you have it, the rest of the story from this cartoon episode. But you know, man, Scorpion taking some random serum to become like a superpowered being, like that's nothing new in Marvel Comics. That's exactly what happened with Captain America, right? Steve Rogers took the super soldier serum, bada bing, bada boom. He's Captain America punching, Red Skulls in the face. So for it to happen again is not really that odd. The really cool thing about the Scorpion is that he is one of those supervillains who has like similar powers to the hero, but is stronger and better, right? Kind of like how Wolverine's main antagonist is Sabretooth. They both have healing factors, they both have those different types of claws, but claws nonetheless. Also like Batman against Owlman, Spider-Man against Venom, I guess. But seriously, right? Scorpion is pretty similar to Spider-Man in his powers. He does have superhuman strength, speed, stamina, agility, reflexes, all that kind of stuff. He also has a scorpion sense, which I didn't know that was a thing, Doesn't sound as good as Spidey sense or Peter Tingle, but still, it's there. And most importantly, as was stated in the actual episode, a scorpion is a natural predator of spiders, So it makes sense that you have a scorpion character attacking a spider character, right? So since this cartoon debut, we have seen a whole lot of Scorpion, here, there, and everywhere, every time there's a new Spider-Man series or whatever, mostly in the cartoons and stuff like that. We have not yet actually had a really full, flushed out live-action Scorpion. We've seen Matt Garrigan at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, and he had a tattoo on his neck, but that was pretty much it, no costume, no nothing, like we didn't really know much about him beyond the fact that he's in jail. But for everything pertaining to the episode, up at this point, that's all you really need to know. We'll get into more about him later, and yada yada. So yeah, with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, that's that. Also, if you guys are interested, I created my own superhero show, and I have the first episode out already. The Adventures of the Density. So if you guys would like to check it out, I'll have a link above here and a link at the end of the video for you to peruse there. Yeah, right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.